The first pro with this 2023 Volvo XC90 B6 is going to be the way that it drives. I really appreciate this engine, the refinement, and the overall comfort of it. The B6 trim level, this is going to come with that crazy turbo / supercharged 4-cylinder engine. It's putting out 295 horsepower, 310 pounds-feet of torque. It feels very effortless out on the road. You can easily pass people. You always have a surge of torque available to you. This 8-speed automatic does a great job in shifting. Sure, there's initially a subtle delay when you step on it, but after that, you're up and moving, no problem. It's also a very quiet cabin space in here, even at the highway speeds. This is still great. One subtle con with the comfort though, it feels just a bit jittery, and I think that's because of the 21-inch wheels. I think if this rode on 20-inch wheels and some Continental tires, I think this would be really smooth at that point. We do have here the optional air suspension. The air ride is calibrated really well. I just think the smaller wheels would have been nice, but sadly you can't get smaller wheels with the fully loaded trim like you see here. You have to go down to the mid-grade plus, which is what I recommend to most people. I think that's perfect for around $65,000. Get the plus, get the 20-inch wheels. As nice as this air suspension is, I don't think you need it. I think the regular suspension will be tuned just fine. But the way you see it here, it's totally tolerable. It's not a problem. I've had plenty of people ride in this SUV. They're really impressed with the refinement and the comfort of it, and I think you will enjoy this as well. The next pro is going to be with this interior space. The solidity is excellent with these Volvo products. These interior spaces, they feel more premium than what the price tag would suggest. This genuinely feels like a 6-figure space to spend time in. These seats are extraordinarily comfortable, and the massage function is legit. It is nice to have. It pushes in on your pressure points, so there's no real fatigue when you're driving this on long commutes. The audio systems are excellent, the Bowers & Wilkins that we have here, but also the Harman Kardon, that's also an excellent audio system. In fact, that's what I would recommend going with. I don't think you need to spend $3,400 on this Bowers & Wilkins. Just the Harman Kardon is fine. But the con, especially for most people, it's going to be this infotainment display. My main problem with it is definitely the way they have the entire climate control embedded into this touchscreen. That makes it very distracting while you're driving to go ahead and change some of these climate functions. And same thing with the menu screen. There's like a lot going on here, and when you're going through it, it's just very dangerous while you're driving. In fact, you shouldn't be screwing with this stuff anyway while you're driving, but I'm just saying certain things you just have to change on the fly, and they make it a little bit difficult for that. Also, it's a Google infotainment screen. I don't mind that. It works pretty good and it's quick to respond, but the Apple CarPlay that they have here, they have included that, but you have to use a wire when using the Apple CarPlay. Just something to note. The gauge cluster that I like, looks fantastic, easy to use, shows you some great information. And the other pro is the sheer amount of headroom and legroom that you have in the second row. That's great. But the con is going to be with the third row. That's pretty much useless. It's just like the Audi Q7 that I tested a few weeks ago. We have here the third rows, but I mean, no adult is ever going to be able to fit in either the Q7 or the XC90 third row seats. So what I suggest you doing is just fold them down, and that way you have a massive amount of trunk space. Like if you were to compare this to a BMW X5, when you have the third row seats folded down, the trunk space is going to be superior, and same thing with the rear legroom in the second row. It's going to be better than like a BMW X5, for instance. Another pro with this B6 all-wheel drive trim level, the fuel economy is not bad. This is a massive 4,700 pound SUV, and it's rated to get 20 in the city, 26 out on the highway, and I do meet those EPA numbers for the most part. And finally, the other pro is the fact that this thing has not aged a bit. This is like 7 or 8 years old. That's absolutely ancient in the car world, but there's nothing ancient about it. The exterior styling is amazing. I love the elegant appearance of pretty much all of these Volvo products. And same thing with the interior. I mean, this is laid out and looks better than most of the competitors, honestly. I mean, aside from a few of the infotainment gripes, everything about this, it looks so elegant and hits way above its weight class, as I already stated. And finally, the last point I want to make, I am partnered with AutoCompanion. He is a broker located in Washington, D.C., and he can help you to get 9% off MSRP on literally every Volvo available, except for maybe the recharge models. You'll have to ask them about that. But these regular XC90s and XC60s and the rest of these regular Volvo products, you can definitely get 9% off on them. It's imperative that you get a massive discount on these vehicles because these Volvos, they do depreciate pretty hard. So make sure to get the discount and also take advantage of the manufacturing incentives. When I used AutoCompanion's free leasing calculator and I input all the numbers in, a $65,000 plus trim level of the XC90 leases out for around $800 a month with the discounts, with the incentives, and with no money down, assuming you have perfect credit. A fully loaded $75,000, $78,000 XC90 like you see here with the Bowers and Wilkins, as well as the air suspension, that's going to be $900 a month. These lease payments, obviously they're higher than what they were pre-pandemic, but all things considered, that is like $100 to $200 cheaper than an equivalent BMW X5 or even an Audi Q7. And leasing and dumping this, that is the best way to go because let's be honest, the longevity of this is not going to be great, especially with an engine that's turbo and supercharged with the 48-volt mild hybrid system tacked on top of that. Yeah, this is a great vehicle to enjoy when it's new, under a lease, under warranty. Fantastic. Enjoy it, but dump it after the lease is done. So $800 a month, that's what you're looking at. I think the cheapest Volvo right now to lease, it's the C40, which is their fully electric SUV, the little one that's based upon the XC40. That's like $500 a month. And the reason why it's so cheap is because there is $12,500 worth of EV incentives for the little SUV. Obviously, that's not going to work out for everyone. I just wanted to throw that out there. That is the cheapest Volvo that you can get right now. But I will have all of AutoCompanion's information down in the description box below. There is a $500 broker fee, but if you sign up with my link, you can save $50. And they do offer nationwide shipping, but you do have to pay for that yourself, which I don't think most people will mind since you're getting 6 to 7K off MSRP before incentives. And that's everything I wanted to share with you regarding the XC90. I really enjoyed my week with it. I'll have my next video on the end screen here. Click on it and I will see you there.